Hello, welcome to another edition of Club Shay Shay. I am your host. I'm also the proprietor of Club Shay Shay, and I promised you when we started this podcast that I would bring you some of the biggest and brightest stars and athletes in their particular genres. And today, I have one. He's a comedian, he's an actor, he's an executive producer, and he's the fastest actor to make the elite Hollywood club the $20 million club. My dog, Chris Tucker.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life I've been grinding all my life.
Talk, what's up?
Shannon, what's up, man? I ain't got none of that money no more. Because I don't want nobody calling me. It's all gone.
All of it gone?
All of it.
Chuck, how you been doing? How you been doing, bro?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing great. How you?
Bro, I'm good. I really can't complain. I'm gainfully employed. I'm doing better than a lot of people. You know, the 2020 was bad for a lot of people. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of families lost loved ones. But I was very fortunate and I'm blessed. So
yes, man. It was a year, man, but we're going to get through it, man. I remember I was in New York for 9/11, and I thought the world was ending because it was the night after, it was the morning after Michael Jackson had the big concerts in New York, the 9th and the 10th.
Right.
Next day was 9/11. Woke up, man, people called me, you know, we getting attacked and all this stuff. I said, the world about to end. I just laid back down, and man, and then some friends called, said, get up, man, we getting on the bus, we going up to Jersey. And man, you know, the world started back up and we got past that. We're going to get past this pandemic, man. And I've been taking advantage of these last 10, 11 months and been focusing, been organizing, been praying. And it took a phenomenon to get me to get organized, but God made it happen.
So you mentioned the pandemic. So what have you actually been up to?
Man, you know what? I've been resting, you know, because I was touring and I was going, you know, get home and then get back on a plane, which I love to do. And, you know, I started out doing stand-up comedy, but I've been resting, organizing, praying, meditating, focusing, man. I took advantage of this time. Like I said, you know, I know we're going to get out of this,
right?
But, you know, so I wasn't going to be lazy and not do nothing. Got to organize, got my rest, you know, of course, worked a lot on you know, stand-up stuff, scripts and producing stuff. But mainly, you know, prayer life and resting and just getting that together, man. And that's been good for me because I'm ready to go now. I'm ready to go when we get out of this.
I don't know how many people know this about you, but I know this about you because I know you're a little better than most people. You're an avid golfer. How's the golf game coming?
Man, it's coming good. I finally got a coach because everybody say, get a teacher, you know, because, you know, we grew up playing basketball and baseball and football. You teach yourself, you know, black people think we teach ourselves. Not in golf. You can't teach yourself in golf. You got to get a teacher. And I got a coach and he's helping me, telling me to turn the left hip. I'm saying, no, I'm going to swing it. No, it's all about the left hip. So I'm getting better and I'm almost getting ready to beat my brother them. So it's going good.
So my brother always comes to your tournament. You have it every year. I don't know if you're going to have it this year. And he always tells me, I'm going to Tucker's tournament. Can you beat him?
No, man, I talked to Marcus Allen about your brother yesterday. I said, Marcus, I heard you're a stretch golfer. He said, that's good for y'all to say that, but that ain't true. I said, what about Sterling? He said, Sterling is a stretch golfer. He's better than a stretch golfer. I said, I don't even know what that means. He said, he's a plus something. I said, what? And Sterling told me, the only trophy I got from winning golf is in my room. We played at Lake, what's the famous one here? East Lake, here in Atlanta, Georgia, where Tiger won the big championship. Right. I played on your brother team, on Sterling team, and we won. Sterling's so cold-blooded, he didn't even get his trophy. He just left before they gave the trophy. He said, I wanted to thank him and hug him and kiss him. He was gone on the road drive, because you know we talked about he drive everywhere. I said, man, it's the only trophy I got. And it's a bad trophy. I mean, it's beautiful. We was at Warwick Dunn's tournament, man. That's the only trophy I ever won besides my own golf tournament. They gave me a free honorary trophy.
So
he's good though, man.
So you say you're getting better. Let me ask you this. Can you beat Charles Barkley?
I could beat Charles Barkley. Now, the way he used to swing, he got a little bit better. I could beat Charles Barkley. Somebody just asked me that last night. They were laughing when they were saying, can you play better than Charles? I said, yeah, I could beat Charles. He came to my tournament last year too. But y'all, that's my boy. But I can beat him. And I'm going to be able to beat him once I get these lessons done.
Well, I mean, it seems to be like golf is the new thing because I see a lot of athletes, like when they retire, football players, basketball, baseball, hockey, forget the professional sport, that golf is the sport that they choose. What is it about golf that you think attract ex-athletes and even guys like yourself?
Because it's always a task, man. It's you never figure it out. It's always another level of the game. Once you get the driving right, hitting it off the tee, you got to work on your irons. You got to get that right. And then when you get close to the green, you got to get the putt, the chipping and the putting right. So it's always a task, and it's always you're trying to figure it out. You're thinking the whole time. And then the fellowship, when you're on the course with your brothers or buddies and stuff, you know, you get to know somebody in 4 hours, they're going to let you know who they are for real. You're going to be like, oh, man, I didn't even know you talk like that. Or you're going to be like, oh, you're pretty smart. Oh, man, I think it's the last time I'm playing with you. You know, so you're going to know something about your people after 4 hours of playing golf. And then you knock the ball in the woods, you get to experience nature, and I'm always in the woods. And one time I was talking to a deer one time. Did you see my ball? He said it was over there. But, you know, I'm a country boy. I grew up by creeks and stuff like that. So I love the woods, being out in nature. So it's all that good stuff with golf.
Who would be your ideal foursome?
Ideal foursome. I would say Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
You, your brother, and Tiger Woods. I'm going to have a lot of people out there.
Who's the one person you would like to play with that you said, I beat him?
Ooh, well, my brother, because he been beating me lately, and I'm getting better because I got my lessons. So I just want to keep continually to get him, and but we have a lot of fun with it. I don't ever want to get too serious that I don't have fun with it, because then I'll be like, you know, all on another level with that. Yeah.
But a lot of people take it real serious though. They take it serious.
Yeah. Yeah, but my brother, honestly, I would like to beat Michael Jordan. I want to go to his course, his own course, and beat him, and then talk about him in front of everybody. Just his people work for him and everybody. I would love to do that. Because
Michael is the type of guy, if he beats you, if he's beating you or beats you in anything, he'll never let you forget it. Yeah, and he's generally talking while it's going on, which makes it worse.
Michael talk junk, man. I remember I went to his party to honor him, and he told my girlfriend, "What you doing with him?" I looked at him. He said, "Oh, that's okay, because I like him. I actually like him." And I agree with him. That's how famous he is. I said, he do like me, baby.
I saw a picture the other day, and this gentleman just passed recently on the golf course, you and Debo. Oh. Talk about your relationship with Debo and what he meant and his past.
What a great guy, man. Debo known me since I was a young teenager going to the comedy clubs. He used to come to Atlanta and scare everybody out of the comedy club. He'd come in there and just yelling and screaming, scaring the comedians. You didn't know if he was for real or not. So I've known him for a long time. And then we end up doing Fridays together. And man, he just made that movie work, man. Him and everybody else, man, made that movie a classic. That was one of my first co-starring roles. And man, he's always going to be etched in my story, because we done a lot of movies. We did Fifth Element together, a movie called Fifth Element. We did Jackie Brown. I did a cameo in that. And the last year, he came to my golf tournament last year, came to church with us after the tournament the next morning. Just a good Christian brother. I did something in West Angeles and LA with him last year, or the year before last. And man, it just seemed like the year before last, we were around each other a lot. Yeah. And I was like, man, this is cool. I bumped into him at Marcus Allen's golf tournament. Right. And I said, what's up, man? And then we kept in touch, and we just was bumping into each other everywhere, man. And then doing stuff together. So I thank God that I had to spend some good time with him before he passed, man. Good brother.
He was a great bro. He's a great guy. And either take a joke. I remember in '90, the Super Bowl was in Atlanta, the first Super Bowl in Atlanta. I met him in the hotel, and he walked up to me. We started talking, carrying on conversation. He's like, "What you doing?" I'm like, I don't know. He's like, "Well, hey, let's kick it tonight." So we, he and I, if he and I, and we going all over, we going to different places. And I didn't really, I was like, okay, he has one green eye and a brown eye.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna see, so we joking, and he's backing up. I was like, bro, look over the other shoulder, cause the one that you looking at, you gonna call us to run into somebody. He's like, man, look here, man, I ain't know for your jokes. But he started laughing, and we kept a relationship going. But he, like you said, Tuck, he's just a great guy.
He really was, man. Just a good-hearted person, good Christian brother, man. And we're gonna miss him, man. We're gonna miss him. Good guy, man.
Let's talk about Friday. That was really that was your breakout role. I mean, you were a comedian and a lot of people knew you, but that was the role that put Chris Tucker on the map. How much of that did you get to ad lib, and how much of it was scripted that you like, nah, I need to do it like this in order to make it meet?
Yeah, a lot of it, man. A lot of it, because I knew I had to make it special. I had to spend some time to develop the character, so I can make it interesting and make an impact, man. But when I got the script, it was like 60 pages. But they were writing at the same time, and by the time we got on the set, it was done. The script was done, but the director gave me free range, and Ice Cube gave me free range to come up with stuff on the set, because they knew I came from stand up, and I'm in the moment a lot, and I come up with stuff. So man, a lot of it was in the moment stuff, and it was because it was just a great environment, great actors, man. Like I said, Tiny was just great. When he came up on that screen, we really was scared. I was scared. I was like, whoa. I didn't remember this part in the script. And I was like, tucking my stuff in. He really made me act for good. And Cube, of course, was Cube. And everybody in that movie made that movie work, man. And I'm just happy and blessed to be a part of it, have been a part of it.
Did you know it was going to be what it became? Did you think in the moment when you're doing that movie, you're like, this is it. This is going to be a blockbuster. Did you know?
No, I didn't know, but I knew I was prepared, because I got up, man. I got in the mirror. I said, this is my shot. It wasn't about money. It was about the opportunity. And I try to tap into that now, at this point in my career. It was just about the opportunity. And I said, this is my shot. I got to be ready when I got to know my lines. And when I'm on that set, whatever comes for me, I'm going to be ready for. I'm not going to let not one moment go past me, funny moment or whatever reaction. And I know I was prepared. And I said, if I'm prepared, and, I didn't know, I knew good things can happen from that. That's all I knew. I was prepared. I was ready.
But did you know by playing that role so well, there could never be another Smokey other than you? That's not a role that someone else could play. That's not a role that someone else can do. No matter how many Fridays, there could never be another Smokey. Did you know you had put together that type of performance?
I did not know. I had no clue. I knew that it felt good and it was working, and I was because when you're in the moment, you don't know what you're doing. You just like, it just worked, you're just feeling good about it, and stuff is coming out of you. It's like God takes over, and you just going. And that's all I knew, that I was ready, and I was excited about it. And because that, I was auditioning for TV shows, because I was on the road so much. I was ready to get off the road and get into movies and get a bigger audience, because I was going to city after city, the same cities, in the same year. I was making a living, but I was like, I got to move to the next level. And back then I was just so sensitive to that. I knew, I was like, this is the time to be on TV or movies. And I always wanted to do movies. And I got Fridays when I came out of audition for another movie. I was up against D.L. Hughley. D.L. got the part on TV, but when I was walking out, my manager's assistant said, but you got Fridays. We just found out you got Fridays. We don't know if you got this yet. But I know, all I knew was I was prepared. So I try to always be prepared for stuff.
You go back and we look at Friday, and we look at some of the comedians that were in Friday. Bernie Mac was the pastor. John Witherspoon was Pops. What was it like working with those guys on the set?
Oh my God. Bernie.
Ronaldo Ray was also in that movie.
Oh yeah, Ronaldo Ray. Oh man, it was just that was the highlights for me, working with Bernie and Mr. Witherspoon, John Witherspoon. I told the director, I said, I gotta have a scene with Mr. Witherspoon, John Witherspoon. I gotta have a scene. He said, all right, we'll write something in. All right. And every day I was bugging him like, what scene now? Because this is gonna be forever. And this man is a legend. He said, I got the scene. You're gonna go up to him and you're gonna tell me you gotta use the bathroom. He gonna slam the door on you. I said, that's all I need. I just want that moment. He gave it to me. Bernie, I was just always a big fan of his. I never seen somebody tear up a room, a comedy theater like Bernie Mac, man. I went to the Wilton in Atlanta, and I got a schooling. I got a lesson from Bernie. Bernie tore the room up, man. It was like the Holy Ghost was in there, man. It was like church. It was like a picnic. It was like a family reunion. I never seen anything like that. So he's always been one of my favorite comedians. Him, Robin Harris, Richard Pryor, you know, Eddie Murphy, those guys, Bill Cosby, all those guys been some of my greatest favorite.
One of my favorite scenes is when Bernie Mac comes up, he's the pastor, and you and Q, y'all was smoking on the porch. And he said he needs a little something for his glaucoma. And he's talking about at the church on, what was it? He said something about his church is about they share. And you said about Normandy and West.
Yeah, the twin. Yeah.
So
that was all in the moment.
Was that in the script, or did you ad-lib that part?
I ad-libbed it, man. Because one thing about when the camera stopped, we still was having fun. It was like you got Bernie Mac on the set with me and John Witherspoon and Ice Cube. We were still having fun, you know. And Ice Cube, you know, I grew up listening to his music, so it was like I was fascinated, you know, sitting next to him. So we talking about stories and stuff. So we was just having fun, man. I was in a good mood, and we was like coming up with stuff every 2 seconds, you know. Even when we wasn't filming, it was a lot of that stuff was great.
You do the movie. It's a success, beyond success, beyond success, beyond successful. Did you do such a great job, you priced yourself out of the sequel? Or did you not want to come back, or did you want to move on to say, I did that, I'm done with that, I want to go to something else?
I wanted to move on, because when I did something, I never wanted to do it again. I was like, back then, I was all about going to the next level. Like I said, I had a good sense of like, okay, now it's time to go do an action movie, whatever it is, you know. So when they asked me to do a Fridays, I was like, nah, I want to go do something else. We done did that, you know, because studios think about the money, and then you know, producers like, oh, we can make some more money with this. I was thinking about my career, saying, no, I want to go do Money Talks or something. Let me do my own movie with Charlie Sheen. I did that movie instead.
That was unbelievable. They were like, I love Money Talks.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. We had some fun. Charlie's my boy, man. He's still my boy. But yeah, it was for me, it was about going to the next level, keep you know, going to the next level. They couldn't believe I didn't want to do another one, but I was right when I think back on it. I was like, this is time to do something new. We did that. And I did everything I could do, and I was prepared, and I'm satisfied with it. Let's go to the next one.
Do you believe, had you done a second Friday, that people would have looked at you and said, that's the only type of movies he can do?
I think it would have probably diminished the first one, because sometimes you can't get something out of certain movies. You can't get nothing else out of it. But they were able to do it with Fridays 2 and 3. They figured out a way to do it. But I just was where I was, and I think it's the right way to do it was at that time. And not to go back on it, because, you know, then it became a classic. And so, you know, I didn't mess with it. I'm glad I didn't mess with it. But something like, you know, the Rush Hour movies, action movies, it's a little bit more easier to do 1, 2, and 3. And then they offered me $25 million. I said, well, you know what? Let's get off your morals for a minute and go ahead and do it. No. It made sense, because I knew that we could do something else with it, and it was what it was, you know, the rush hours and stuff.
Can you believe, of all the things that you've accomplished, that people still go back and they talk about Friday and they quote you from Friday and they do all these things? Can you believe the staying power that you had in that movie?
No, man. I never, you know, sometimes when God bless you, man, he bless you more than what you can even dream. And that's one of those things, because it was just a small movie. We filmed it in 20 days. And I didn't get, you know, about $10,000 for it or whatever. I didn't care. I wanted the opportunity. But I can't believe.
Hold on, time about back up. How much you got?
I got about $10,000, because the movie cost, they got different stories, but it was either $2 million or $3 million to do. I know we had 20 days, because the director reminded me every day. We got 20 days, man, because you better not mess up. We only had 2 takes. We can only take 2 takes. That means, you know, I can only do my lines twice. If I mess up one time, you get one more time, and that's it. We're gonna cut your part. So I knew we was on one street the whole time, and then we went some stuff in the studio, little scenes in the studio, like bedroom scenes like that. Right. But it was that small of a movie, but that was the beauty of it, because it allowed me to get into the character. It wasn't no big distractions like big movie sets. You got light people and sound people, everybody want to be a star. But that movie was just a camera, and me and Cube on the porch, and then magic came out of it. Thank God.
And now with the advent of the internet, you see all the Smokey impersonations. You see all this. You got knocked out. You see the, you see everybody. You doing this.
Yeah.
Gabrielle Union and D Wade reenacted one of your scenes.
They did.
They did an unbelievable job.
Oh, I'm getting that. I got to see that.
So I look at you, and when you had the part with Faison Love, Big Worm, Big Perm.
Yeah.
that was some great acting. It was just like,
thank you.
How were you able to do, because you went from like you Smokey next to Cube, Smokey doing with Bernie Mac, Smokey talking to Pop, Smokey talking to Cube's mom, to now all of a sudden it's you and you leaning in the car and you trying to shiest him out of his money. How did you go from this, because like you said, you only had 20 days to shoot this entire movie.
Yeah. Well, the beauty about the scene with me and Big Worm with Faison Love, we were best friends. So we clowned around all day, every day, going to the comedy clubs at night, every night, going to different comedy clubs, performing. We clowned around every day. So it was so easy to work with him, but we were laughing a lot. Faison would laugh all the time because he looking at me like, look at him try to be serious. And because I had to stay in character, I would make him laugh off camera because he was making me laugh. So it was so easy because we were friends and to get that stuff good. And then Bernie Mac, of course, he's one of my heroes. I was a fan of him. So everybody I had a connection with. Watching John Witherspoon and watching Q growing up with his music. So everybody, it was just every time I was with him, I was excited, and it was just easy to do. It was easy.
How did you come up with the line when the girl that Cube, Nia Long's character, Cube had a crush on her, and she said she has a friend that she want to hook you up with.
Yeah.
And she said she kind of looked like Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you come up with that part? Was that written in, or did you ad-lib Janet Jackson, more like Freddie Jackson?
Well, that was written in. That part was written. But on the phone, when I got on the phone with her, what Debbie lived, right? All that was just me saying, okay, I'm on the phone with somebody. Nobody was on the other line. And I'm like, okay, all right, control. That was all me. And then
because she had told you that's Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson.
That's Janet Jackson, but that's all me. And then I auditioned on the part of the girl. When I walk up to the girl and I find out she wasn't what I thought she was, that's how I got Fridays, because I was like, I know you're hungry. My mama don't like a lot of people with me when I pick them up. No, well, want you? And then she take the wig off. I was like, damn, all that was how I got the part. I just made that up in the room and they wrote it down when I was auditioning.
Give me your top 5 hood classics of all time.
New Jack City.
New Jack City. I like New Jack City.
Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood.
The Mac. And I'm going, well, you talking about hood classics. Because I always say Scarface is a hood classic to me, because I love Scarface. We grew up, we accidentally saw that in matinee when we were kids. My mom and dad didn't even know what we was watching. We was gone. They sent us to the movie. And I said, whoa, this is acting. I thought I was in, a whole big old drug world with that. But the other one could be offhand, maybe Menace to Society. Oh, Uptown Saturday Night. Uptown Saturday Night. Let's do it again. Those are in there.
You ain't gonna put Friday. You're not gonna put Friday in there.
Oh yeah. You know what? I gotta put my movie in there. Yeah. I forgot. Put Fridays in there.
It's hard to have a hood classic. Any of the Mount Rushmore, any of them, without Friday being in it.
Thank you, man. Good looking out, big bro. That's right. That's right.
You grew up in Atlanta. What was it growing up in Atlanta during the time, and what did you want to be when you were growing up?
I was blessed, man. I found out early, that I like entertainment, going to the movie, seeing Stir Crazy with Richard Pryor in it, and Gene Wilder. Richard Pryor walking down the prison talking about, we bad. Yeah. I was just fascinated when Richard Pryor came on the scene. Eddie Murphy in 48 Hours, he was in the prison, like, case, and I was like, there go Eddie, So when I went to school, I'm the youngest of 6 kids. Okay. So I watched a lot. I observed a lot because, you know, you can't say nothing. You the youngest and all. You got 3 older brothers, 2 sisters. They say, shut up, or this what? You know, so I just watched them. You know, it was, and I watched them make mistakes. You know, they get a whooping. I'll be like, what they do? I don't want to get a whooping when I get older like that. What happened? I didn't take out the garbage. I'm like, I'm gonna make sure I take out the garbage when it's my turn. Shoot, Daddy told you up. Good God. So I learned a lot at a young age, and then it was just comedy all around us. Because, you know, a big family. It's always something. People trying to get in the bathroom. Get out of the bathroom, girl. Yeah. We trying to go to school, and Mama, shut up. What y'all making all that noise? So it was always something going on in the house, and I was just around funny stuff, and I didn't even know it. And I was funny, I guess, too. And I went to school, and people saying, man, you funny. Man, you like Eddie Murphy or something. I'm like, what you talking about? And then, you know, I don't dress out for PE. I would preach to everybody who didn't dress out in the bleachers. I'd be like, all right, get your books, your Bibles out. And I would make them laugh for about 30 minutes. Even the teacher come over there and be like, what is this fool? And then they said, you need to host a talent show because you got something. I said, well, how much they paying? Are they paying anything? And you get some good grades or something? No, you just go. So I got like $30 to host a talent show. Told my first joke. They laughed. I said, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. Because, you know, school wasn't easy for me. You know? So I said, I ain't going to college. I barely got out of high school. I'm going to finish this right now. I'm lucky I got out of here. So, yeah, man. You
went to Columbia, which is in Decatur, right?
Yeah, Decatur in Georgia, yeah.
In Decatur. Now y'all had some athletes. That was that track. Gwen Torrance went to Decatur, went to Columbia. Yeah, I know. You know, I know a little bit of. They had awesome track program was off the chain.
That's right. She graduated with my brother or sister, older sister. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm. So what was sport? I mean, you went to a school that was that had good high school athletic program. You never wanted to play sports?
I did play sports. I wanted to go pro like you, but I broke both of my wrists in practice.
That was it.
That was God saying, you better go figure something else out. I jumped up, man, to catch a ball or two, you know, just to catch it. If we were just getting ready for practice. I jumped up and instead of coming down on my butt bone, I said, oh, I'm gonna brace myself. Boop, broke both of my wrists. And even the doctors was laughing. They're like, how did you do this? I said, man, just take me to the doctor. Take me to the hospital. And that's when I quit. I said I need to do something else. But yeah, man, I love sports and, you know, wanted to go pro like everybody else.
But you realized at a very young age. So doing the comedic thing when you were in high school or coming up, was it to make people laugh or to make sure people weren't laughing at you? Because I have a funny side, but I used to talk with a lisp. And what I found out at a very young age, that if I made other people laugh at someone else, they wouldn't notice what I got going on. And so I could keep them up off me.
Yep. Yeah, it was, see, I probably would have talked about you. See, I probably, no, I was joking. No, I was one of them guys that I would just make people laugh. Because, it was really because I didn't really want to do the work. Some of the work was hard for me. I was like, oh, shoot, man, what y'all doing? Well, hey. But, you know, I'd be messing with people who done studied, done did their homework. Hey, man, come on, give me some answers. And they'd be like, shut up. Come on, I will shut up if you give me the answers. Teacher looking right at us, fool. I was one of those. But I would make people laugh because they, you know, it was easy to do. So I would be like, I just started up and get the class going.
So how old were you, or when did you start doing the Eddie Murphy and Michael Jackson impressions?
Man, Eddie Murphy from high school, you know, he was the man for me, and Michael too as a kid. Oh man, I remember my play brother up the street used to dance just like Michael Jackson. He had the prettiest girlfriend. I said, man, I want to be like this dude here, and I want to dance like Michael, like he danced. So we always had dance Michael Jackson contests, and he brought down Eddie Murphy's Delirious that he did on HBO because he had cable before they put the cable down in the street while we lived down on the street by the Circle. He already had cable and he had a VCR because he was the only child. We weren't, you know, we had to wait, So he had VCR and had the stereo. You remember the stereo? So he had all that stuff. He brought Delirious down and it was over. We got cable right when Rocky 3 came out on HBO. And we was like, watch Rocky 3 and Delirious all day. And we just had a ball.
So what's your go-to lines when you're going to impersonate Eddie, you're going to impersonate Mike? What's your lines? What's your go-to?
Well, Eddie, you know, I just talk like I'll do the laugh. Man, you crazy. So what's up? What's up? He's a little older than that, so he talk a little like, what's up, man? How you doing, bro? He just talk low and rich.
Yeah.
But Michael, I would go, oh, Chris, what are you doing, Chris? What's Chris? How are you? How are you? When I used to talk to him, he was so kind.
A lot of people, some people don't like when they get mimicked or they get made. So how was it when they found out you were doing it and then you saw them for the first time?
Oh, Michael loved it because I heard from his nephews that he was a big fan of mine because they showed him the movies. They showed him the movies, and Michael was loved it, man, because he knew everything I did had a little bit of Michael in it. Right. It was from Fridays, I'm dancing on the porch in the montage, doing Michael dance, Money Talks, Rush Hour, doing the karaoke thing, and even in a Def Jam. I talked about Michael. What if Michael was a pimp? So he knew that if we had kindred spirits or something, and I was a big fan for sure.
You said some of your early influences was Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor. Who are some of the other comedians when you were growing up? You was like, okay, I like his style.
Well, definitely Bernie Mac. Like I said, Bernie Mac was just funny, naturally funny. Robin Harris, I didn't get a chance to meet him, but I heard his albums and I saw him in the movies, Spike Lee movies and different movies like that. I just thought they were, you know, I like naturally funny comedians. And today, of course, you know, Dave Chappelle, you know, a friend of mine, people like that, man, it just make me laugh. They gotta be funny. So.
What was it like performing on the comedy tour in Atlanta? Because Atlanta I don't know if it's still like this now, but Atlanta used to have a bunch of comedy places. Uptown Comedy Store right there on Peachtree. Yeah. I used to go there all the time.
Yeah, it's still, man, there's so many funny young brothers out there, man. You can't even count them on one hand. And it's still strong. And they still doing comedy. Even during the pandemic, man, they still out there. Comedy clubs still open. People ain't stopping, man. So, yeah, man, I can't wait to see who else is out there. But we definitely got a good track record of a lot of great comedians coming out of Atlanta.
What made you decide to move to LA and not New York to do your comedy?
Because all the comedians was coming down to the Comedy Act Theater, and they were coming from LA, like D.L. Hughley and Jamie Foxx, and all those guys would come down, and they would see me open up for them at times, and they were like, "Man, you need to go to LA. You're pretty good. You can get there." And I was like, "Okay, you really think so?" They was like, "Yeah, man, you need to go to LA." So I knew that LA was the place for the movies and television and all that stuff, and New York was more theatrical. So that's what made me go out to LA.
So what was it like? Your mom, you're like, okay, I'm gonna go, I'm finna mom, dad, I'm finna go it alone. I'm finna dip. What was your emotions like? Because you know, that's not like I got a job lined up, I'm going out there, I'm going to work. You're going to do comedy. You gotta get called, you gotta get called back, you gotta get readings. There's no guarantee any of this is going to happen.
Yeah, they were, you know, my mom and daddy was so supportive, but they probably were so happy I found something that I was gonna do, because my mama thought I was gonna live with her forever. So she right, because I built her a house and I stay with her right now. So she right. But she said, I just thought you'd go be with me, baby. You know, I was just gonna help you out. But I was fortunate enough, man, I knew somebody in LA. Matter of fact, I moved with my girlfriend from high school. Father lived in LA. So I had a place to stay. My mama felt comfortable about where I was going because she knew I wasn't gonna be out there by myself. So it was just God, man. It worked out.
So in other words, you kept the girlfriend from high school so you have a place to stay when you came in here with a father, huh?
Oh, no, she was fine. I wouldn't try to leave her. I was like, baby, could you just ask your dad? Because I didn't think he was going to agree with it. Like, you crazy? You going to be living up in my house with my daughter, sleeping with my daughter? No. But he was cool with it. He was like, yeah, come on, tell him to come on out. And it was just, things just fell into place. As soon as I graduated from high school, a comedy club opened up, Comedy Act Theater, where Robin Harris and everybody came from, you know. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, when I was ready to move to LA, my girlfriend's father was living out there already. And asked, can we go? I thought he was gonna say no, and I was gonna have to get another plane. He said, yeah, it's okay. They kicked me out 2 months later, but I had 2 months to find a roommate, and then I was out. I was on the road rolling then. Because they were coming home from work. I was just getting up on the couch because I was out all night on the comedy clubs. And They would come home from work and I'd be like, hey, getting up off the couch. And his wife at the time, his new wife was like, he need to go. He need to go. He ain't paying no rent and he just sleeping all day. So then I found me a roommate and the rest is history.
What is some of the advice that you would give young and up and coming comedians?
Trust your dreams, man. Go after your dreams. I went after mine, and it all happened even more than I ever could imagine happen. But every moment was a surprise. And when a door closed, another one opens up. Like I was telling you, I was going for a TV show. I didn't get that, but when I walked out of that audition, I got Fridays. So don't get frustrated when a door closed. Just find the positive in it and keep moving, but keep working. Like Marvin Gaye said, stay on the floor and keep dancing, because that's the only way somebody's gonna see you for the next part. And when you're working, even if it's something small, somebody might see you and say, oh, he got the look for the next part. So you got to just keep doing what you can do to keep going to get to where you want to go.
Was Def Comedy Jam the show? Because I remember DL ended up hosting that. And some of the great comedians have come through there. Martin Lawrence was the host for a while. Dave Chappelle, Bernie Mac, Steve Harvey. I mean, so many.
Yeah.
What was it like auditioning, being on Def Comedy Jam? Did you know a lot of the brothers and sisters that you were out there against were going to turn out to be what they later became?
I was on the same show as Bernie Mac. He was the headliner, and I started the first Def Jam. And I went up, and I thought I blew the place away. I thought that, there was nobody going to follow me. And I went upstairs, to use the bathroom, I was thinking in New York, wherever we were. And I saw a guy up there, and I said, hey, man, you a comedian or something? He said, yeah. I said, what's your name? I'm Bernie Mac. I said, oh, okay, you going up? He said, yeah, I'm going up in a minute. I said, and I thought to myself, all right, well, good luck, because comedian after me bomb. And then Bernie went up there, tore the house down. And I said, oh, man, I got to get back to work. I got to get myself together. But that Def Jam was my platform that really got me my first agent, got me my, that was the reason why, they got me for Fridays. They saw, I was rising up on Def Jam and Def Jam Tour and all that stuff. So that was my first big platform. And then Fridays, was the movie stuff platform.
Give me your Mount Rushmore comedians. You only get 4. Your 4 best comedians all time.
Richard Pryor, Robin Harris, Eddie Murphy. I gotta say Bill Cosby. Those guys.
You left. I'm just saying the guys you left off. Not that it's right or wrong. You left off Chappelle. You left off Seinfeld. You left off Lenny Bruce. You left off Red Fox.
Yeah. Well, those guys, now Red Fox is up there too, but he was way before I know all about him because I do comedy and I studied him. But and Chappelle is in my generation, so he's on that level with me, and he's one of the greatest. Don't be mistaken. But ain't none of them gonna touch Richard. Ain't none of us gonna ever touch Richard. Ain't none of us gonna ever touch Robin Harris. Ain't none of us gonna ever touch Eddie Murphy in movies and stand-up. And Bill Cosby, he's one of the greatest. Richard Pryor used to imitate Bill Cosby. And then I gotta say Dick Gregory. So it's so many, man. It's so many.
Do you believe that had Robin and Bernie lived longer, they would have had a greater place in the comedic hierarchy?
Oh, for sure. Robin Harris was about to be out of this world. He would have been like Eddie and up there and probably big, just as big as Eddie. And Bernie was going, it wasn't nothing he couldn't do. Drama, comedy, he was there. He was already there too, because he stayed here long. So yeah, those guys they own that Mount Rushmore for sure, man.
So when you write jokes, do you just sit down? I mean, so how does it happen? I mean, so I've talked to rappers and entertainers, and they says, okay, if I'm gonna write a song, I might be laying down, I wake up and I start writing, or I might be eating and something comes to my head and I just put it down and I start writing. How do you write jokes? How long does it take you to write a set?
Yeah, When it comes to me, I usually don't sit down and think of stuff. I let it come to me, and then I'll write it down, or I will get in a mood or something, and then it just all come to me. And it's like wherever it is, wherever I'm at, or if I go to the comedy club that night, some come to me. But yeah, I jot down stuff throughout, the year, or I just let it come to me, because so much stuff just comes, and then I keep, some stuff I let go and some stuff I keep.
Was it a difficult transition from stand-up to acting? And is it a natural transition that a lot of comedians have gone on to be actors, from Red Fox to Richard Pryor to Eddie Murphy, yourself, Bernie Mac, Robin Harris? I mean, so many guys. Sid the Entertainer, Bruce. I mean, so many guys.
Yeah. Yeah, it's totally different. Stand up and acting is totally different. You have to, like in stand up, you're more animated and you're more wired. In the movies, you got to tone all that down, and then you got to come up when you need to, come down when you need to. I noticed that when I started doing acting, I said, "Oh man, I got to take this down," because they got your head in 100, close up, and you moving all around here. I'm like, I can't do that here. I gotta calm down right here and look, a certain way. So you got to adapt to that. And then also you got to go deeper, because you're playing a part, and then you got to go deeper than stand up. Stand up is it's your life, and it's hard too at times, but acting, it's another level. It's another level. But you're using that when you got that comedy tool and take it to acting, it's good.
Have you ever forgot a line while you're doing stand up?
Oh, all the time. But stand up so good because you got the audience right there, and something might happen. You might ask a question, and boom, that breaks you to a whole nother thing. And then you go back to whatever you forgot, and you good again. But stand up ain't nothing like stand up. I love stand up.
What are some of the obstacles that you had to overcome? Were there doors slammed in your face? Were there opportunities that you felt you were deserving of that you didn't get, and you like, man, I don't know, this might not be for me because they be bull jiving?
You know what? That I've been blessed, man. It was like for me, doors was just opening. It was just God, because like I said, Def Jam, I was in a competition. I lost the competition because I didn't have enough time for the second round. Right. But the Def Jam producer ran backstage and he saw me. He said, "Man, I want you on the first Def Jam. You perfect for what we want for Def Jam. All you need to do is 7 minutes, 5 minutes." I was like when I got Fridays, it was like I was sad and then I was happy again. It was like when a door closed, another door opened. And then when I went to the comedy club down here when it first opened, I was too young to get in. They had a liquor license. The manager, he let me in because I would just kept hanging around the front door. And then Ricky Harris, another comedian, he was headlining one weekend, and he told the manager, let him in, or he wasn't coming in to work. So he was late already. So the manager said, let him in. You better not drink nothing though. But I went in and I didn't drink, and he didn't see me drink, but I went in and I made sure of that. And doors was just open. It was always obstacles, but God opened those doors for me.
I'm looking at House Party 3 in 1994. Kid played Tisha Campbell, Bernie Mac, Lisa Left Out Lopez, Rest Her Soul, Marcus Houston, Eddie Griffin. What was that like? What was that set like?
That was a great set, man. And I was only there for like 2 days, and that was really my first movie role when I did that. And then at the premiere, I told you that's how I got my agent. He came up to me and said, "Man, you got an agent?" Because I guess he saw my little part that I did in House Party 3. But I played the part Johnny Booze, and man, I just I had to do something real quick because I only had like a second to make the character do something. So it was a lot of fun, man. It was just animated, and Johnny Booze character, and just came up with something real quick, man, and it stayed in the movie, so it was good.
Dead Presidents, another hood classic. You worked with Lorenz Tate. How was that?
Oh man, so much fun. Working with the Hughes brothers, Lorenz Tate, my buddy. Bokeem Whitbine, so many other greats, man. It was awesome, man. The music they had, in the movie and playing around the set, and it was a period piece. We had so much fun, man. And it got me to show another side of me, serious side, playing that character Skippy in Dead President's Bed. So I was happy to do that so I could show. At the same time, I had Fridays out that year in 95 with comedy. And then on the other side, I had Dead Presidents with a serious side. So I was happy to show both sides of me.
Did you ever worry about being typecast?
Not at that time, and but I never worry about it at all because I know what I could do. A lot of people might haven't saw a lot of it yet, but I never worry about it because I know, like, once I do something different, they gonna be like, oh, okay, I knew he could do it, but I just wanted to see it. Like when I did Silver Linings Playbook, that was a smaller part, but it was different, more dramatic. And then, of course, Dead President. But, that's always on the back of our minds as, you don't want to be typecast,
Can I ask you a question, though, Tub?
Yeah.
Do typecast actors cash checks?
That's right. They do. They do, man. They do. That's right.
Jim Carrey made a lot of money playing them pet detective.
That's right.
Playing liar. He made a lot of money.
He sure did. That's right. You do what you do best. And, if you could do something else, that's great. But, hey, if that's all you can do and you're doing good at it, that's okay.
You mentioned 95, you had the Fridays and Dead President, but 97 might have been one of your best years because you have Money Talk, you have Fifth Element, Jackie Brown.
Yeah.
What was 97 like for you?
97 was fun, man. I was producing Money Talks with Charlie Sheen, my own movie. And that was another level. And it was great, being around great actors like Charlie Sheen and Paul Sorvino, that was in Money Talks, that movie. And then worked with Quentin Tarantino and Samuel Jackson and that, Jackie Brown. That was fun because Quentin's great writer. He just, whatever the words he writes, you could just say right from the page because it sounds like you're talking. So that was, fun and a learning experience. And Fifth Element was great because I went to Europe working with Luc Besson, one of the greatest French directors ever. And, out there, man, having fun and on this big set, playing a crazy character, man, that I could go all the way, far as I want, in that character, Ruby Rod, space character. That was just a gift. And I was scared to do it. But once I got in that outfit and got going, I said, man, this is going to be fun. And it turned out to be one of my favorite characters.
Which is harder, producing, directing a movie, acting in the movie, and which do you like better?
I like acting in a movie and having a little bit of say-so, a little bit of control. And that's what mostly, if you get an executive producer, credit, that, because you want to have a little bit of so you can make the movie better. Only because you want to participate, you want to make the project a movie better. So I would say, the acting is the hardest, and for me, it's the most rewarding thing to do because that's what I do best, I think.
You've been on the set with a lot of great actors: Charlie Sheen, Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson, Robert De Niro. Which one of those guys, or any of those, who brought out the best Chris Tucker?
I would say, man. I would say Charlie Sheen because he's just a nice guy. He made sure I got first credit. I never forget that the studio wanted him to be first credit at the time because he was, a big star. Right. And all that. He said, no, you brought this project. You should be, your name should be first. You should be you should be up front. So I never forgot that young kid, somebody like on his level, telling the studio, no, this is his movie. I'm just starting. You put me second credit. So I always remember Charlie for that. And then, of course, Jackie Chan, just having fun with him and growing up watching his movies too. And I knew I could be funny and be physical and all that stuff in Rush Hour. So I knew that was a great vehicle for me, man, to show my talents.
I've had some rappers on here, and they say when they collab or someone has them on a feature, they're trying to kill it. Yeah, I know this is your album, this is your song, but I'm trying to kill you on your own song. Yeah. When you're in a movie or you're in a scene with an actor, are you trying to I know this is your movie, but they're going to remember me?
You know what? No, because I gotta get feedback for people like when I was in Money Talks and what's his name? Paul Sorvino, working with a great actor like that. The key is working with other great actors because they're gonna give you some stuff and it's gonna bring the best out of you. Charlie Sheen, great actor. If you working with great actors, man, they gonna bring it out of you, and you're gonna be like, whoa, and you'll be in the moment more. And acting is a little different because it's a teamwork, you know, like football team, it's teamwork. We want to work with the best and the best directors.
Rush Hour. Why? And did you know it was gonna be what they became?
No, it was the same thing when I did Fridays. I did the first Rush Hour. Never wanted to do another one because that was just like, I never even thought like that. I was like, just do a great job with this one and move on and do another great job for another movie. But you know, like I said, I didn't have nothing on the table at the time, and they offered me another one for the Rush Hour 2. And then I said, all right, I'll just do it. I don't have nothing at that time. And we did it, and we had fun with that one. And with the third one, you know, same thing that happened. But no, I didn't know it was going to be a franchise. And I appreciate it, and I'm glad that it had enough legs to go, you know, last like that. But yeah, I didn't know.
So, because that was really like the first time you could be you could still be funny, but you had a more of a drama. You was actually like a detective. You're actually James Carter was actually trying to catch somebody. Yeah,
and that was like a movie that I grew up watching Eddie Murphy, Beverly Hills Cop, 48 Hours. So there were things that I always dreamed of, like, man, I got to get to that level, you know, one day, you know, like my heroes, childhood heroes, Richard Pryor and his movies and stuff. So yeah.
What type of physical shape do you need to be in to do those type of movies? Did you do any of your own stunts? Do you like doing your own stunts?
I did all of my stunts. In the first Rush Hour, I made sure I got in shape because I knew that, you know, Jackie Chan did his own stunts by watching, you know, researching him and watching that, you know, him saying I do my own stunts. So I made sure I got in shape. And for the second one, I made sure I got even more better shape because you know, action movies, it's a lot. You go on the set, you might be there all day because they're going to need you to fall or jump off something and this, that. So it takes action movies. You need to be in shape, and you're working in the middle of the night sometimes, early in the morning. So you want to be healthy enough to be able to have the energy that you know come across on the screen and physical stuff you need to do, you know, to make the scene work.
How did you get paired with Jackie Chan in Rush Hour? And I read where Jackie Chan says, like, when he first met you, he wasn't so sure about you.
Yeah, because it was well, I was doing movies with New Line Cinema, and Jackie, I think they bought a lot of his movies. New Line bought a lot of his movies that he did overseas in China, in Hong Kong. And they had a relationship with him, and then they had a relationship from Fridays and Money Talks with me. And me and my manager at the time, we was looking for something bigger and seeing what the studio had. And they said, well, when we want to partner up with somebody else, they said, well, we got Jackie Chan's got a project, but they're looking at somebody else. I think it was Wesley Snipes, Martin Lawrence, and a few other people. And they said they're looking at other people, but maybe you know it might work. So we went out there, tried to get this script, the Rush Hour script, and do the movie with Jackie. And it came together because one of the producers wanted me in the movie. They wanted somebody, a fresh face, just like in Fridays. They wanted a fresh face, somebody who wasn't already established. And I got the role. I got the part with Rush Hour because we had a history with New Line, and Jackie was working with them, and they put us together. So that's how that happened.
Did you know the magic that you guys would create? Did you know it would be this when you two guys got together?
I felt it because I was comfortable around Jackie because he was humble. You know, he still is great guy, great man. And of course, he was a hero of mine because, you know, Jackie Chan was cool. But I knew that I could say whatever I want to say around him, and we had good chemistry, and from the start, you know. And so I think out of that, you know, great things happen.
In 2006, you negotiated a contract, $25 million for Rush Hour. You were the first, I think, if I'm not mistaken, to crack that threshold. Did it add pressure on being the highest paid actor at the time in entertainment? What was going through your mind? Here's a black kid from Atlanta, Georgia, former stand-up, and now I'm the highest paid. I didn't go to Juilliard. I didn't go to one of these prominent acting schools. I didn't go to Yale or this or that. But here it is, a black kid from Atlanta, a black man now, and I'm the highest paid in the world.
Yeah, I didn't think of it, man. I was so like back then. I said after the success of the first Rush Hour, I said, well, my movie made over $100-something million. Tom Cruise movie made over 100-something. He's getting 20 million. I said, I need to get 20 million. So I just went in there and told the studio, I said, well, if y'all want to do another one, I want 20 million. And they said, okay, because they knew that it was gonna make a whole bunch of money, and I felt like I was worth that because I knew the movie was gonna make some more money too, and I just was. I guess that's the business side of me that said, go ahead and ask for it. This is time to ask for it, and they gave it.
Do you wish you'd have thrown out a higher number?
No, because it worked out. It worked out.
Hold on. Did Eddie Murphy turn this movie down?
No, Eddie was never attached to Rush Hours. It was on. I think Martin was. They was considering Martin and Wesley, but yeah, that was the only thing I heard. But Eddie, I don't think he was ever involved.
You've also had a lot of cameos in music videos.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody that's ever been around you, it's hard not to like you. You're an easy person to like because you're exactly what people would think you would be. I mean, when they see you in those movies and they're like, I wonder how he is. And when people ask me, say, man, I was like, yeah, I know Chris Tucker. What's he like? What you see on TV. He's exactly like that. I'm talking about nothing different. He's fun. He's that make you laugh. He's exactly what you think. Whatever you thinking, that's what he is.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I try to be, man.
No, and that's all you can be. Just be you.
Yep.
As I mentioned, you have a lot. You like in Tupac, California Love, Dr. Dre, Keep the Heads Ringing, Mace and Daddy Feel So Good. What is it about why they keep shouting you or having you in their video?
Cause man, I guess it's the culture, man. Because they know I love music and hip hop, R&B.
You like P Diddy. You in everybody's video. You dancing in everybody's video. You like P Diddy.
Hey, I've been in a video with P Diddy. I like music, man. I like country. I like gospel. I like everything, man. So it's just part of me, and that's part of my spirit, man. I put music on and have fun, dance and laugh, and that keeps me happy. So it's a part of me, and then and the movies and the soundtracks come together, and with Keep Your Head Ring with Dr. Dre, that was on Fridays. Michael Jackson, we were friends, and I got into Rock My World video, which was a blessing, because Michael don't put everybody in the videos, only a few chosen to be in his videos, and every time that song come on, I got great memories to come back, on that.
It seems like comedians are getting discovered a different way now, because now since the advent of social media, we see a lot of guys on IG, doing little stuff, doing skits, and maybe they're doing TikTok or they're doing IG live.
Yeah.
Are there some comedians, up and coming comedians that you look like, okay, this young brother, this young female has a chance?
You know what? I need to get on more and see who's out there, because there's a lot of talented people out there, man. And one kid, like I think you mentioned, and one kid imitates me on TikTok, man. And I think that kid's just talented, man. And and he's gonna go far. But it's definitely a new platform. Like we had Def Jam, and that got me into the movies. This is a platform that's getting a lot of people going to the next level. Like Justin Bieber got discovered doing something on social media, and then Drake, and he did a little TV too. But that's the new platform. That's a new format. So that's what's going on.
The old comedians had Def Jam, had Comic View. Comic View launched a lot of careers. So what's the new media? What's the new avenue for comedians to be? What's the next Def Jam? What's the next Comic View?
I think it's going to continue to be something like TikTok and social media, man, and all that stuff, Twitter and all that. It's going to continue to be that for a while, and people are going to be discovered off of that, and then go into, of course, streaming, on all the, platforms like that, Netflix and Prime, Amazon Prime and HBO Max, and they're going to be selling shows, and they're going to be buying them up, man, because it's just wide open right now, which is good.
As you mentioned earlier, Tuck, the pandemic has been a blessing and a curse, because now you're getting guys doing Netflix features for comedy, and they're getting a boatload of money. You just perform right there, and everything's taken care of, and they just run it.
Yeah, it's a blessing, man, because you know, back in the day it was only HBO or Showtime. Now you got so many different places you could take a comedy special, a show, or something like that, and so it's wide open. If you got the talent and you're willing to do the work, you know, you could get out there and make it in this business for sure.
So how have you been? You look at Dave Chappelle, and he had it all. He was on Comedy Central. He was doing the sketch comedy, and he was at the apex, and he walked away from it. And then gradually he took steps and he built it back up, and now he's back. You know, a lot of people believe that right now he's the gold standard when it comes to comedians. Yeah. How has his resurgence reinvigorated you?
I mean, yeah, because, you know, he did the right thing. He was uncomfortable with something, and he wanted his freedom to express himself in his art, and he did the right thing, and it helped him come back to where he is today. And everything that he left on the table, he got that and double and more, you know. We kind of got like some of the similar walk. You know, I kind of took long breaks and got my, you know, and lived my life, and traveled all over the world and grew up, and toured and been touring and stuff, but and ready to do more, you know, movies and all types of stuff. I'm still young and can do that, thank God. And so we kind of got the same kind of walk, and we encourage each other in that aspect. And man, you got to have time, you got to grow. And I truly believe good art comes from your real life experiences. And you don't have that balance and real life experiences like when I grew up, that was all the Friday stuff. That was all the Def Jam stuff. Now the stuff that I'll do from this point on is where I've been, you know, these last 20 years, you know, growing up, I think.
If they were to remake Friday, and Cube said they're thinking about it. He says they're writing it right now. Would you want to come back in it, and would you want to come back as Smokey?
You know what? It's people. Some people say do it. Some people say don't. But for me personally, I probably won't, because I never want to shortchange my audience and my fans, because you know I know they want it because that's what they know and they love it, and I'm glad they love it. But I don't want to come back in something that I probably can't do what they want me to do, because I've grown. And not only grown, I'm different.
Right. That was a 25, that was a 23, 24-year-old Chris Tucker. This is a whole different Chris Tucker.
There's a whole nother Chris Tucker. And you don't want to shortchange your fans for money. And you don't try to. And that's one thing I think, and it's best to keep that one, because I can't do what I did when I watched Fridays now. I'm like, I can't do that. That was where I was, and I was acting. But now I'm in my 40s now. I could do something even better, because if you like that character, imagine what I'm gonna do in the future.
You're from Atlanta, as I mentioned. The sports team in Atlanta haven't had the greatest success. We got the Falcons, we got the Braves.
Shout out to Hank Aaron.
Hank Aaron, we're gonna talk about. As a matter of fact, let's talk about Hank. We just lost Hank early this morning. I think he was 86 years of age. Atlanta icon. When you think about legends of Atlanta, you think about obviously Dr. King. You think about Hank Aaron. You think about Andrew Young, Maynard Jackson, some of the greats. And now, 20 years from now, we're gonna be thinking about Keisha Bottoms, and we're gonna think about our great mayor. Stacey Abrams. And Keisha Bottoms is the mayor right now. Torsha Brown. But talk about Hank, because I know you had a personal relationship with Mr. Aaron.
Oh man, I've been blessed, man, to meet so many great legends, and we stand on the shoulders of so many greats, man. In my profession and in others, man. And I've had, because I'm from Atlanta, I had a chance to meet Mr. Aaron several times, and and I was surprised he knew my name. First, like him, people like him and Bill Russell and Jim Brown and Bill Withers. I hung out with all these people because God blessed me to be in their circle, in their world. But I did his party last year, his birthday party. His wife, Miss Aaron, invited me to go up and say some words, man. And I just get a kick out of being around him, and people like Ambassador Young And, I called him on Martin Luther King weekend, but he was such a down-to-earth legend and iconic person, but he was so humble. And that's what I would always remember. He was hey, Chris. I'd be like, that's Hank Aaron. He said my name, and some people get me like that. And he's one of them, that he's just humble. He shows you that he cares, and he don't wear this I'm Hank Aaron on my shoulder like a lot of people we know do. And he never did that with me, and always just gave me that reassurance, like, you're going to be all right. Keep moving, young man.
Another Atlanta icon we lost early also, John Lewis. You can't have a Mount Rushmore of legends in Atlanta without putting John Lewis on that plaque.
Yeah, man. I called him also on a couple of weeks before he passed. I was praying and I got up and said, I'm gonna call John Lewis. And I got him on the phone. I was so surprised. I thought I was gonna leave a message. And he said yes. And I was just thanking him for everything he's done. Like I called Ambassador Young, and he's just said, "Oh no, thank you, young man. Thank you, young man." And I thank God I was able to talk to him before he passed.
You was at Kobe's final game.
Yeah.
Obviously, Kobe, 20 years, he wasn't what he once was. But did you even, in your wildest imagination, envision that Kobe would go out in his last game and drop 60?
Never, man. That dude was great for real. He was great for real. And, he would go down like the legends, Bruce Lee and so many greats that's just mystery around their work ethic and things they did to prepare to be great. And I never thought that, he would score that many points, but he just showed, he had that anointing, man. And he was one of the greatest.
You like basketball. I see you at the All-Star games a couple of times. Give me your starting five. If you can build a team, starting five, any player, past and present, who's your starting five?
Well, Bill Russell, because you know my name. Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Kobe, Magic, and Kareem.
You know what, Tuck? Hold on. How you gonna leave Goat James off the list? You got all them. You ain't put LeBron on there.
Oh man, forgive. You know what? That's my boy too. Okay, put LeBron's on there. He's coming in for the guys. He's the sub. You gotta put LeBron
the sixth man.
I know exactly. You gotta have a boy LeBron's on there for sure.
If you could do what if you could do it all over again, what would you change? What would Chris Tucker change about anything? Maybe you change nothing, but if you could change something or you wanted to change something, what would Chris Tucker change about his career to date?
I wouldn't change anything that comes to mind, but I tell you what, any mistakes that you make or I might have made, they're learning experiences. So you don't want to change learning experiences.
Right.
You just got to make sure you learn quick and don't keep making the same mistakes. And so I wouldn't change anything. And I would, I pray that I never forget the mistakes that I might have made and learn from them and keep moving.
We're going to wrap with this one, Tuck.
Yes, sir.
How do I say this? Your career has been, you said, you've been like Chappelle. Chappelle walked away. You walked away. You came back. What are we going to see from Tuck in the next 10 years? Are you going to do more acting? You're going to be more behind the cameras? What should we expect from Chris Tucker from today moving forward?
You know what? A lot of good things, man. I want to do it all. I want to do it all. Of course, more acting, more of whatever guides, wherever God guides me. To be honest with you, and then I want to say the time I took off was so important, and I see the fruits of that now. Like I could, like I told you, I called Congressman John Lewis because I was around him, and I became, and I knew him because I was available to go down to the Edmund Pettiman Bridge when he invited me, and Bill Withers, hang out with Bill Withers and my buddy who used to take pictures for Muhammad Ali. I'm gonna think of his name.
Bundini Brown.
Oh no, not Bonnie Dini.
No, but I know you're talking. Yeah,
Howard Bingham.
Bingham.
Howard Bingham.
To
to Bill Withers, and then and Ambassador Young, and I thank God that He allowed me to step back so I could so I can know them and be friends with them, and now hopefully they stay around forever. But I'm able to say I knew them. They gave me good advice and stuff like that. I would have never known these people if I was just straight on my career and just worried about me. So I can always have that wisdom to go forward. Sidney Poitier, going to lunch with him, and Harry Belafonte, these guys, knowing these guys and spending that time. So those things you can't imagine it unless you willing to say, oh, I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna step back for a minute. Let me grow as a man and as a person and travel the world and stuff. I would have never experienced those things if I wouldn't have faith in God. And those things can never be taken away from me. And I still got, a great career, coming, ahead of me. But just to say that I want to do it all, and I'm able to do it, produce, direct, and write, and discover other great actors, comedians, along the way. So yeah, I want to do it all, and I'm looking forward to doing it all. Wherever God takes me.
You got to get your Super Bowl pick. Who you got getting to, and who's winning the Super Bowl?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, my boy Brady. I love Brady. Now, I met Brady at Michael Jordan's golf tournament, and I thought he was black at first because somebody said, just like you say, "What's up, Tuck?" Somebody said, "What's up, Tuck?" I said, "Well, who this brother is?" I turn around, it's Tom Brady, and ever since then, I love Tom Brady. I said, "Oh, that's my dog for life right here," because he's just down. So I'm going with Tom on that, and I love Aaron. I never met Aaron Rodgers, so I'm going with Tom all the way on that.
You got
for
Tom.
The Chiefs. I'm going with my boy, the Chiefs, and
my homeboy, Mahomes.
I'm going with my homie. I'm going with home. I had a chance to meet him at the All-Star game, man. I slipped on that one. I don't miss stuff like that. He was sitting across the way, and I didn't get in the end of the All-Star Chicago. I didn't get a chance to shake his hand, but I'm going with him. I know he felt my spirit. And I'm going with him, the Chiefs, and Brady. Chiefs and Brady's in the Super Bowl, and I'm not going to call that one because both of them are my boys. So I'm going to see what happens. Let destiny take its course. Let history take its course.
NBA, who wins the championship this year? Nets, Lakers, Clippers, Celtics, Sixers, Bucks.
The Clippers have they have a vendetta. They have they got to win this year. So I think the Clippers gonna be there fighting like cats and dogs with my boy Lou heading them up, and my boy Doc down in.
But they got they got a special menu coming out of the place though on Forsyth. They got a special menu, them lemon pepper wings that are and them chicken tips will be biting out that place.
Where's that at? Where's that?
You know that's at Magic.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That thing be swinging. Man, Tuck, I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate the time today.
Hey, man. Love you, man. Thank you, bro. This was awesome.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle, pay the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle, pay the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life.
You know what to do. Hit the subscribe button to become an official member of Club Shay Shay, where we always do something for two something.